Hi, I'm Holly and welcome to the News Beyond the Markets, a special show that'll get you all the news that matters for the day. Let's kick it off with the latest updates on the nationwide spread of the virus. Australia's most populous state, New South Wales, reported 22 locally acquired cases of COVID-19 on Wednesday, taking the total infections in the latest outbreak of the highly infectious Delta variant to more than 170. Of the cases reported, 11 were in isolation when infectious, while 5 were in isolation for part of their infectious period. 6 cases have been reported to be infectious in the community. Queensland reported the 3 new locally acquired cases as well on Wednesday, just as today marks their first day of a Snap 4 lockdown imposed in the state's capital, Brisbane, after an infected person visited several venues over a 10-day period while unknowingly contagious. And Perth, the Western Australian capital, is also under a 4-day lockdown until Saturday, while residents in the northern city of Darwin must stay at home except for urgent reasons until Friday. And on the other hand, South Australia's Premier Marshall said some restrictions were being reintroduced in the state in a bid to avoid more extreme measures like lockdowns. The restrictions include limiting home gatherings to 10 and making masks mandatory in public. People are asked to work from home if they can't socially distance at work. Meanwhile, Sydney recorded 22 new local cases from the 68,000 tests in the last 24 hours. All of these tests are reported to be linked as well. And as a measure of the safety, QR codes will now be compulsory for supermarkets, gyms, offices, shops, and shopping centres, as well as schools, universities, and other businesses from the 12th of July. Australia has reported just over 30,555 cases and 910 deaths since the pandemic began. Across the Tasman Sea, there are no cases of COVID-19 to report in the community today. However, there is one case related to recent returnees in the managed isolation facilities since the ministry's update yesterday. The number of active cases in New Zealand now stands at 31. The 7-day rolling average of new cases detected at the border is 3. Since January the 1st, there have been 76 historical cases out of a total of 570. The total number of confirmed cases in New Zealand is at 2,386. Moving on to a news update coming in from New South Wales, Transport for the state today announced a major investment in the Sydney Coordinated Adaptive Traffic System, or the SCATS. For those who don't know, SCATS is an intelligent, real-time traffic signal control system that synchronizes traffic signals according to complex algorithms to optimize traffic flows. It's been developed by the New South Wales government since the 1970s and is now the most widely used adaptive traffic control system worldwide. SCATs have been installed in over 55,000 intersections and 28 countries worldwide. SCATs is a mission critical to the Transport for New South Wales and is global commercial customer base, improving traffic flows, managing congestion and keeping people safe in 187 different cities around the world every day. Beyond delivering network optimization and safety outcomes, SCATS is critical for Transport for New South Wales's technology agenda and supports the state as a global leader in transport and innovation. So for now, we can expect to see these smart tech solutions to manage our traffic too. Well, with that, it is time for a short break, but stay with us and I'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, This is Andy Lou broadcasting from Kalkine Media Studio in Australia, and I'll be hosting the new Kalkine Wellness Show. The half-hour show will cover topics from how wellness as a concept has become even more significant during COVID, to how becoming vegan may improve your health, and much more. We are excited to showcase our live streaming show to our audience of millions overseas and in Australia. Tune in to Kalkine TV and join me.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Holly and you're watching the news beyond the markets. Now for some distressing news for Australian-Chinese relations. As Human Rights Watch said that high numbers of Chinese students at Australian universities have created an environment of self-censorship, with lectures avoiding criticism of Beijing. The NGO interviewed 24 students with pro-democracy views attending Australian universities, of whom 11 were from mainland China and 13 from Hong Kong. According to the report, some parents in mainland China had been questioned by Chinese police about the activities of students in Australia. Plus, there are reports of Hong Kong police questioning a returning student about pro-democracy activities. Self-censorship has worsened as universities have adopted online courses during the pandemic, with Chinese students joining class from behind China's Great Firewall system of internet censorship. In one example, an online course removed references to the bloody Tiananmen Square crackdown in 1989. Responding to the Human Rights Watch report, Universities Australia, which is a peak body for the sector, said universities are committed to academic freedom. Though the Chinese embassy in Canberra did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Prior to the pandemic, 40% of all international students in Australia were from China. Almost a third of university sector revenue was generated from the international student body. The rights group verified 3 cases of family in China that had been warned by police over a student's activity in Australia. The student, who had said he had posted anti-government material on Twitter, said Chinese police had issued his parents with an official warning last year. A student from Hong Kong filed a report with Australian police after 4 men in masks and speaking Mandarin appeared outside his house and chased him with sticks after he spoke at a democracy rally. The student slept in his car, then moved out of his house after the incident. He is now seeking asylum in Australia. And as per the report, threats by patriotic Chinese classmates, including exposing address details online known as doxing, and threats to report a student's anti-China views to the embassy, were more common. Human Rights Watch said more than half of students who experienced intimidation did not report it to their universities. The organisation said it wanted the Australian government to report incidents of harassment and censorship annually. Needless to say, what's unfolding is a cause for concern and it needs to be kept a close eye on. Moving on to the good news finally, and this time for privately insured Australians. Those with serious heart conditions now have a new, less invasive treatment option available. MitraClip is the world's first transcatheter mitral valve repair, or TMVR therapy. It provides select people living with mitral regurgitation, which is a leaky heart valve condition, with a minimally invasive treatment option, and avoiding the need for open heart surgery. The MitraClip comes at a price of more than $26,000, and that too just for the device and delivery system, without including the doctor or hospital fees, which are covered separately. It'll now be covered for by private patients with appropriate private health insurance cover from the 1st of July. Private Healthcare Australia is currently campaigning for lower prices for generic medical devices, which are often 30% higher for Australians than for people living in countries like the UK, South Africa and New Zealand. MitraClip will be available for limited clinical indications from the 1st of July. And with that, it is time for another short break, but don't go anywhere and I'll be right back.
Tune in to get the latest information.
Whether it's about market movements or the currency graph,
Sectoral coverage or industry news.
we cover it all on our news segments.
Be on top of the latest news
With Kalkine TV.
Property by Kalkine. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest lowdown on the property market, tune in on Kalkine TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with Kalkine.
Welcome back to News Beyond the Markets. I'm Holly, reporting live from Kalkine TV studio. Now, for some time, game-changing news for Vic, specifically the city of Wyndham, as their council has given the green light to progress plans for a state-of-the-art alternative waste processing facility in Warrabee, which is a suburb of Melbourne in the state of Victoria. The concept plan for this site will create a detailed roadmap for the introduction of waste bowling and a pre-sort and organics processing facility. The landmark decision is designed to support Victoria's target to achieve an 80% diversion of waste from landfill by the year 2030. Wyndham City's landfill is one of the only 4 waste disposal sites servicing metropolitan Melbourne. The plan is for the Werribee operation to provide the state with an alternative to relying solely on landfill as a waste disposal solution. Instead of acquiring households to separate organics and food from general waste, this new facility will provide the ability to remove the green waste at the landfill. Equally, for councils who do not require the separation at curbside, any non-compliance can be corrected as the landfill. Baling waste and sorting materials in an indoor custom-built facility will reduce litter, noise and odour, while providing immediate environmental benefits. And on that note, time to move on from news that matters to the latest live market updates on Kalkine TV. This is Holly signing off for now, but stay tuned with us and keep yourself updated on all the latest market movements, economic announcements and much more.